Hello friends, I welcome you all on my YouTube channel Rasayan Setu. So friends, in today's video, we are going to discuss previous year questions of physical spectroscopy and term symbols which was asked in CSIR NET December 2016 exam. Okay, so let's start. Now see, this is your first question and it says 1H NMR spectrum of an organic compound recorded on a 500 MHz spectrometer showed a quartet with line positions at 1759, 1753, 1747 and 1741 Hz. The chemical shift and coupling constant in Hz of the quartet are, and you have four options. Okay, so friends, uh, we have a observed shift in our question and operating frequency which was given in your question, and on the basis of these given data we must find the chemical value of chemical shift and coupling constant in this question. Okay, and this question is coming for 2 marks, so let's solve it. Now friends, in NMR spectroscopy, we know very well that the chemical shift is a ratio between your observed shift and operating frequency. Okay, chemical shift is a ratio between observed shift, which is in hertz, okay, and operating frequency, which is in megahertz. Okay, and in our question we must find this chemical shift. Okay, so the notation of chemical shift is denoted by delta, and and it is a ratio of observed shift upon operating frequency. Okay, now as you see in our question, we have a operating frequency that is 500 megahertz, but we have a quartet, we have a spectrum in the form of quartet. That means we have a 4 line positions, that is 1759, 1753, 1747 and 1741 hertz. So now for finding this observed shift, you must take the uh, average observed shift. Okay, so we must take the average observed shift. So observed shift average is calculated by, see, 141 plus 1759, 1747 plus 1753 plus 1759 divided by 4. So after calculating this, we must find the value of our average observed shift. So when you calculate this calculation, the average observed shift will be 1750 hertz. Okay, so from this data we must find your chemical shift, that is delta. So delta is equals to 1750 upon the operating frequency is 500 megahertz. So the answer should be 3.5 ppm. Okay, so your value of chemical shift will be 3.5 ppm. So, and now we must find the coupling constant. Okay, so what is the coupling constant in NMR spectroscopy? So we know that the coupling constant in NMR spectroscopy is a difference between any two adjacent peaks. Okay, the coupling constant, or J, is what it is, just a difference between, two adjacent peaks. Okay, and in given spectrum we have 4 peaks, and the position of 4 peaks are 1741, 4753 and 59 hertz. Okay, so we must take the difference out of these four peaks. Okay, so the J will be the difference between two adjacent peaks. So we must take any two adjacent peaks. For example, we must take the difference between 1741 minus 1741 hertz. Okay, 1747 minus 1741, or either you take 1753 minus 1747 or 1759 minus 1753. It is all depends on you. So difference is 6 hertz. Okay, so this is a 6 hertz. So so in this question the chemical shift is 3.5 ppm and the value of J, that is coupling constant, is 6 hertz, and this is your option number first. Okay, see in the corner friends, it is a very simple question. Your option number first is the correct answer of this question. I hope you understand it. See once again the whole solution of this question. You just simply take the average observed shift, then now apply simple formula, and we calculate the value of chemical shift and the value of coupling constant. Okay, now let's move towards our next question, and see it says vibrations of diatomic molecules are usually modeled by harmonic potential. If the potential is given by x square, the correct statement is, and we have four statements, that is we must find the value of force and force constant. Okay, and this question is coming for 2 marks. So let's do the solution of this question. Now see friends, in the question we have a value of potential which is denoted by V, and the value of potential is x square. Okay, and we know that this potential is equals to the potential, or V is equals to half k x square. Okay, where k is a force constant. K is a force constant. Okay, the value of potential will be half kx square, which is x square according to your question. Okay, and in our question we must find the value of force and force constant. So first of all we must find the value of force. So you know the value of force will be given by a negative differentiation of potential with respect to s. The value of the formula of force is partial differentiation of potential with respect to x. Okay, this is a formula of force. Now it means we must partially differentiate of x square with respect to x. So the differentiation of x square with respect to x simply minus 2x, because here we will take minus. So the differentiation of x square with respect to s will give you minus 2x. So the value of force will be minus 2x. Okay, now according to our question, the potential equals to half kx square, which is also equals to x square according to your question. So it means half kx square is equals to x square. Okay, half kx square is equals to x square. Now it means this x square will be cancelled out by this x square. So from this we have the half k is equals to 1. So from this it means the value of k, or force constant, will be 1. Okay, sorry, not 1, this half moved this side, so this will be 2, not 1, this will be 2. So the value of k will be 2 from this relation. Okay, half kx square is equals to x square. This x square will be cancelled out by this x square. So half k is equals to 1. So it means k is equals to 2. So in this question the value of force is minus 2x and the value of force constant is 2, which is your option number second. See, second option says the force is minus 2x and force constant is 2. So your option number second is the correct answer of this question. Okay, see once again, it is a very simple question friends. I hope you understand it. Okay, now we move towards our next question, and see it says the rotational constant and the fundamental vibrational frequency of HBr are respectively 10 centimeter inverse and 2000 centimeter inverse. The corresponding value of dBr approximately r, and we have four options. Okay, so friends, in this question we have a rotational constant, that is b, and fundamental vibrational frequency, that is mu bar of HBr given. Okay, that is 10 centimeter inverse and 2000 centimeter inverse. So from this data we must find the values of rotational constant and fundamental frequencies of dBr. So it means the value, the D is the heavier isotope of hydrogen, that is deuterium. Okay, and we have 4 options, and this question is coming for 4 marks. So let's do the solution of this question. Now see, first of all we have a data, that is the rotational constant of HBr, that is B of HBr, which is 10 centimeter inverse. Okay, and the fundamental vibrational frequency, that is mu bar of HBr, is 2000 centimeter inverse. This is given in our question. Okay, now first of all, we must find the value of B and mu bar of your dBr. So friends, the value of B, the formula of rotational constant, is given by h by 8 pi square IC. This is the formula of rotational constant. Okay, and we know that I is equals to mu r square, in which mu is your reduced mass of that molecule. So B is equals to h upon 8 pi square I mu r square into C. Sorry, not I, that it is simple. Mu r square will be placed on the place of I. Okay, so 8 pi square mu r square C. So in this question you can relate that your rotational constant is inversely proportional to the reduced mass of that molecule. Rotational constant is inversely proportional to reduced mass of that molecule. Understand? Okay, now first of all, it means we must find the reduced mass of HBr and dBr. So the reduced mass of HBr will be 79 by 80. Okay, and the reduced mass of dBr will be 158 by 81. This is the value of reduced masses of HBr and dBr. Now from this relation, what we conclude? We conclude that the relation, that is B of HBr upon B of dBr, is equals to reduced mass of dBr upon reduced mass of HBr. Okay, now in our solution we have our values of B, HBr, the mu of dBr and mu of HBr. So from these values we must find the rotational constant of dBr. Okay, so it means the rotational constant of dBr is equals to BHBr multiplied by mu of HBr upon mu of dBr. Okay, so the rotational constant of dBr is equals to B of HBr, that is the rotational constant of HBr is 10, multiplied by reduced mass of HBr. The reduced mass of HBr will be 79 by 80, and this will be 158 by 81. Okay, so now when you solve it, you see that this 79, this 158 will be cancelled out 2 times by 79, and this will cancel out almost 1 times. Okay, so ultimately we have value 10 by 2. Okay, so the rotational constant of dBr is equals to 5 centimeter inverse. This is the rotational constant of dBr. Okay, so and now we must find the value of the fundamental vibrational frequency of dBr. So we know the formula of fundamental vibrational frequency, that is mu bar is equals to 1 by 2 pi c under root k by mu. This is the formula of fundamental vibrational frequency. Okay, so from this relation you must see that the difference between fundamental vibrational frequency and reduced mass is what? See, the fundamental vibrational frequency is inversely proportional to your under root of reduced mass. Under root of reduced mass. Okay, so it means the fundamental vibration frequency of HBr upon fundamental vibration frequency of dBr is equals to under root of, this is mu dBr upon under root of mu of HBr. Okay, and in question we have mu bar of HBr, so we must find the fundamental vibration frequency of dBr. Okay, so this will be, see that the mu of dBr is equals to under root 158 upon 81 upon under root 79 by 80. Okay, so now when you calculate this, see The under root 158 is almost equals to 12.56 and the under root of 81 will be almost equal to 81 and this will almost equal to under root 1 which is 1. Okay, so the value of mu HBr upon mu bar of DBr is equals to 12.56 divided by 9 upon 1. Okay, so from this relation we get the value of fundamental vibration frequency of dBr, which is equals to, see, the mu bar of HBr is given, that is 2000 centimeter multiplied by 9 upon 12.56, which is equals to nearly equals to 1230 centimeter inverse. And according to our question, we must find the approximate value of fundamental vibration frequency of dBr. So approximate value is almost 1410 centimeter inverse. According to your question, it is a nearest integer from 1430 centimeter inverse. Okay, so the fundamental vibration frequency of dBr is 1410 centimeter inverse, and the rotational constant of dBr is 5 centimeter inverse. Okay, so this will be your option number 4. See in the corner, friends, the option number 4 is the correct answer of this question. Okay, see once again the whole solution. It is again a very simple question, only a formula based question. You must simply know the formula, then you will simply solve this question. Okay, I hope you understand it. Now we move towards our next question, and see, it says among the following both microwave and rotational Raman active molecule is, and we have 4 options. Okay, so in this question we must find the Raman and microwave and rotational Raman active molecules out of these 4 choices. Okay, and this question is coming for 4 marks. So let's do the solution of this question. Now see, friends, when you find that the given molecule is microwave and rotational Raman active, so what is the essential condition for microwave rotational activity? So we know very well that for microwave or rotational spectrum, the molecule should have permanent dipole moment. Those molecules which have permanent dipole moment have shown the microwave or rotational spectrum. This is a essential condition. Okay, so for microwave or rotational spectrum, molecule should be permanent dipole moment. Molecule should be permanent dipole moment. Now I think this is enough statement for finding which one is show the my rotational spectrum or microwave rotational spectrum. Okay, so when you carefully observe these options, only the option number 2, that is the N2O molecule, which shows Raman activity. Why? Because it is the only molecule out of these 4 options which have permanent dipole moment. Rest all options are not having dipole moments, that is CH4, C2H4 and CO2. Okay, so they all are Raman inactive molecules. So we have only one choice left, that is N2O molecule, and the structure of N2O molecule is in this type. See, the nitrogen have positive charge and negative oxygen have negative charge, so the dipole is in this direction. Okay, so because of this permanent dipole moment, this will show a symmetric stretching as well as anti-symmetric stretching. It will show symmetric and anti-symmetric stretching vibration. Okay, so your option number 2 is the correct answer of this question, because it has permanent dipole moment, so it shows microwave and rotational Raman activity. Understand? I hope you understand it. Now we move towards our next question, and see, it says in a 200 megahertz NMR spectrometer, a molecule shows 2 doublets separated by 2 ppm. The observed coupling constant is 10 Hz. The separation between these two signals and the coupling constant in a 600 megahertz spectrometer will be respectively. And we have four options. Okay, so friends, when we change our operating frequency in our NMR spectrometer, we must find that on changing this operating frequency, what is the value of coupling constant. Okay, uh, so let's do the solution of this question, and this question is also asked for 4 marks. So see, we know friends the value of delta, that is observed, that is the value of chemical shift is your value of observed shift upon the operating frequency. Operating frequency. Okay, observed shift and the value of upon operating frequency. Now when you see the question, it says the separation between these two signals. So we must find the separation between two signals, that means the value of chemical shift or observed shift, at which the value of del which is given, that is 2 ppm. Okay, and operating frequency is 600 megahertz. So 2 ppm is equals to observed shift upon 600 megahertz. So the value of observed shift is, when you change operating frequency, the value of observed shift is 600 divided by 2, which is equals to 1200 hertz. Okay, 1200 hertz. So this will be the value of your separation between two signals, that is 1200 hertz. And we know when you change the operating frequency, the value of coupling constant can't be changed, its value will be constant. Okay, so the value of coupling constant can't be changed, so it will be your 10 hertz. Okay, so the coupling constant also 10 hertz according to your question. Coupling constant is equals to 10 hertz because it can't be changed. Either you change the operating frequency, or you can't change the operating frequency, its value will be constant. Okay, so the observed shift is 1200 hertz and the value of coupling constant is 10 hertz. So this is your option number 4. See in the corner friends, your option number 4 is the correct answer for this question. Okay, I hope you understand it. See once again. Okay, सो फ्रेंड्स, ये थे आपके कुछ क्वेश्चन जो दिसंबर 2016 में फिजिकल स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी एंड टर्म सिंबल टॉपिक से पूछे गए थे। दिसंबर 2016 में टर्म सिंबल टॉपिक से फिजिकल में एक भी क्वेश्चन नहीं आया था, केवल और केवल स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी से क्वेश्चन आए थे। ये सभी क्वेश्चन थे, आई होप आपको समझ आए होंगे। फिर भी किसी भी तरह की डिफ़िकल्टी आती है तो प्लीज़ कमेंट सेक्शन में आके ज़रूर पूछिए। ओके, सो थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स, थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग।